Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance. Do your
Oh,
dance.
baby.
Space Jam.
All right. Oh. Get it. Slam. Okay. All right, welcome back. Another episode of the Fantasyfails podcast. This is Kyle, Luke, and Johnny here today.
What's
How's it going,
up?
boys?
Yo.
So we're back on schedule. This is the second one in 2 weeks. I'm excited.
Episode 7.
Dude, I mean, the NFL season is heating up. We have plenty to talk about. I can't wait to get to the GOAT of the week. Oh, I just love it. I love making fun of people, dude. So the GOAT of the week is the best time to do that. And the NFL gives you a lot of opportunities to laugh at people. So we got a good one today. Outside of that, we'll cover the top quarterbacks, the top tight ends. I don't know. Maybe you guys got something else to meander into? There's got to be some other news out there, right?
Well, did you guys hear about Mackenzie Alexander?
No, you just sent me the message. What's going on there?
So he just left Bengals camp because his dad and friends late last night hopped a fence to illegally pick berries in a swampland in Florida and hasn't been heard from since. So Mackenzie Alexander left camp to go down to Florida to help search for his dad in this swampy area looking for berries.
Oh, my gosh.
I guarantee everyone thinks that's not from Florida or Louisiana that he got eaten by an alligator.
I don't know what's going on, but if you went with multiple guys and he's the only one that didn't make it back, that makes me speculate.
Well, if
We
you're in the
should
middle
start a
of the night-
podcast on that one.
Oh,
True
man.
crime. It's a popular podcast category.
Dude,
Yeah,
we'll
we
get
could have
Johnny
some
started.
fantasy fail plugs.
How do the two tie together? Well, Mackenzie Alexander, duh.
Yeah. Football. Let's go.
Aaron Hernandez. What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's another one. See, we're starting a series.
Ray Caruth.
Season 2.
Ray Lewis.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Let's put him
Yeah.
behind bars, fellas.
Dude, the Fantasy Fails forensic FBI team.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Man,
He did it. It's over. That'd be like a 30-second episode.
Who done did it? He did it.
You white, you did it. I started the NFL Arrest podcast just to get on there and just, more shit to waste my time. And I posted something on Aaron Hernandez, and I realized that there's a large group of people out there that think he's completely innocent and that he's like the coolest dude in the world. So I posted a picture of Aaron Hernandez. I'm like, this dude was basically accused of 3 murders, yada, yada, yada. I had people coming at me like, how dare you try to get this clout news? He was acquitted of 2 of the murders. Like, motherfuckers, like, he did it. He just had better lawyers. But anyway,
clout news?
Yeah, they call it clout news, I guess. Is I'm trying to get all this hype, supposedly.
Right.
Yeah, so people, they continue to chime in. It just cracks me up. And one person came and said like, "Oh, he's an elegant god." I'm like, what?
What? You serious? They called him a god?
Yeah, and or he's a god of elegance or something. I'm like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's like the Washington Post calling that terrorist an austere religious scholar.
Right, yeah. Al-Baghdadi?
Right.
Yeah.
No, he was a terrorist, bro.
It's crazy. Crazy people out there. Dude, social media just brings out all the funniest. Makes me laugh. All right, let's get into it. So I think let's do top tight ends first. So why don't we start off? Let's do top 5. I don't know, Luke, you want to lead us off?
I can definitely do that. I think tight ends are a pretty easy category, at least for the first 4. Travis Kelce's one. If you're falling in the latter half of the first round in a 12-team PPR, I don't think that's too early to take him. Now, I would want to get
first round.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to get a solid running back. And if there's a couple receivers that went before me, I would feel confident in the turn being able to get that running back. But I would definitely consider Kelce at the end of the first, early second. Kittle, kind of in the same boat. This year, I'm really hoping to get a late first-round pick so I can go running back, tight end, and whether that be Kelce or Kittle, I really don't care. He's a stud. Third, I'm going Darren Waller, freak athlete. Another year in the system with Gruden and Carr. I like him out there in Las Vegas to have a big year. My fourth guy would be Mark Andrews in Baltimore. I think you're kind of splitting hairs between him and Waller, but I'm giving the nod to Waller just because I think he's a bit more athletic and get you more yak. But again, Andrews at 4. And then my fifth guy, it's tough, man. You really kind of – those top 4 guys, then there's kind of a tier drop down. And I switch from day to day on who I would have 5, but the closer we get to the season, the more I kind of jump on the Evan Ingram hype train again. I fall sucker to it every year.
Slope.
But exactly, every year I fall victim, and then he does jack shit, and you look like an idiot. But I mean, if he can figure out any kind of mojo with Daniel Jones, like some reports coming out of Giants camp are indicating, he could be a freak, huge asset in fantasy. So he would be my 5th.
Yeah, he's another freak athlete. Man, dude, you talked about your 1 and 2, and I was kind of going back and forth with Kittle and Kelsey, but I look at what Kelsey has done. I honestly doubt that there's been a more dominant player in their fantasy position, maybe ever, than Travis Kelsey has been. So how's this? 2019, number 1 overall. 2018, number 1 overall. 2017, number 2 overall. 2016, number 1 overall. That's freaking insane.
Jeez,
So
dominant.
I'm with you definitely on really actually all 4. So I'm not even going to go through my list, but just when I'm looking at Kelsey specifically, I don't think I'm taking him in the first round. I just he's great, but I got to get the running back or maybe a receiver. I want to go running back first round, but if Kelsey is there in the second round for me, I'm going to snatch him up. Absolutely. I'm definitely taking Kelsey over Kittle. Just for the consistency, if nothing else. Even on Kittle's best year last year, he was still number 2 to Kelsey. So there's really no reason to think that he will outshine Kelsey this year. So Kelsey for me all the way. I don't know. What do you got, Johnny?
My 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 go as follows. I've got Travis Kelsey for mainly all of the reasons that you both said. He's consistent. He's got a pass. He's got a guy that slings it to him every single down. I mean, think about that dynamic that they have over with the Chiefs.
It's not fair.
Mahomes gets the ball. He's MVP. He's MVP caliber. He's back there. He looks deep. He's got Tyreek Hill wide open. Boom, got it. He looks downfield. Tyreek's covered. Travis Kelsey right there. Boom, got him. 2 extreme athletes. I mean, that's something that no other team has. So with Mahomes having the ball and Travis Kelsey just sitting there in the flat, I have to give him the number 1. Now, my number 2 is George Kittle. The only reason I have him number 2 is I don't like the 49ers. So I'm always a homer. I always go back based off of emotion and all that stuff. But I think that he's number 2 because he's an animal. He just loves to play football. He gets out there. You see the grit. You see the nastiness. I mean, he carried like 6 Saints defenders like 20 yards to get a first down to win the game. This guy's an animal. My number 3 is Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz he's just consistent. He's a consistent number 3. He's not an animal like Travis or George. Zach Ertz is my number 3. He's consistent. He's always open. He's always there for a first down because you know that Carson Wentz is always running for his life, and he's the guy. Number 4 is Darren Waller. He's an animal. I had him last year. He gave me a lot of points. I didn't get a chance to look at him play. But he scored like 4 or 5, 20 point games, which is huge. Darren Waller, he's my number 4. My number 5 is Hayden Hurst. Now, Austin Hooper left the Atlanta Falcons, and that spot came open, and Matt Ryan can't throw for jack shit, so he has to dump it down to his tight end. That makes Hayden Hurst my number 5. Over Jared Cook, who's my number 6, and I hate that. That's why it is.
Man, so what was Austin Hooper last year, fantasy-wise? I mean, he was definitely top 5, right?
Yeah, he was tight end 5.
Yeah. No, I think that's a solid fifth. I hadn't really
Yeah,
considered, but someone's got to fill that spot. And yeah, I'm with you. Old Matty Ryan, he's got that wet noodle for an arm. He's
I
getting
think
old.
Asshole.
I
It's
think
an
you could
asshole.
also put Jack Doyle in that category too with Philip Rivers.
Ooh,
You know what
that's
I
a
mean?
sleeper. That's a
So
Yeah,
sleeper.
just
the
he can't throw the ball.
that's exactly one thing I was going to talk about is when I'm drafting, I'm going to take Kelsey. I want to take Kittle high in the rounds if they're available. I'll take also Andrews or Wallers or Ertz probably in rounds 3 through 5. But if I don't get those guys, to me there's a pretty big drop off between like the next tier. So I'm probably not touching a tight end for a while. But
Mhm.
one guy that I would love to take later in the draft would be Doyle. Same thing. You got an older quarterback. You got a guy that can catch the ball as a
Wait,
possession receiver.
is
So
it?
I think he's going to get fed a lot. He had 72 targets last year,
Uh-huh.
and that was with Brissett. So
What happened? What happened to Eric Ebron? Is he still out there?
Steelers.
yeah,
Oh,
Steelers.
oh,
Yep,
okay.
exactly. So
And
yeah,
remember how good Hunter Henry was down the stretch last year with Rivers. So it's not like
right.
Right.
Rivers ignores tight ends. He likes them.
Yeah. So give me Jack Doyle, man. If he's sitting
There
on
you
the
go.
board late, I think it's a huge pickup.
He's ranked way down here too. 20th tight end ECR.
Yeah, that's an easy sleeper for me.
Yeah, get that running back, get that wide receiver in the early rounds if you don't get Kelsey or Kittle.
So what else we got on tight ends?
Let's see.
Our
Gronk.
boy,
I mean, yeah.
our boy Drew Sample in Cincinnati's breaking out. Evidently,
Yeah,
living
right.
up to that second round hype.
The guy who had 4 catches in college.
Wait, you guys got a tight end in the second round?
Dude, I don't understand.
Sick.
He's a stick in the mud.
That's sick.
No,
He
he's
tried,
gonna have a good year. He's turning into our Kittle. You need to shut the hell up.
dude, he's gonna have a good year blocking for Joe Mixon. That's about it.
Hey, if we win games because of it, I'm down.
I will take
Somebody's got to
him if
block
the
on
Bengals
that
going to win a
offense.
game.
I bet Drew Sample wins the Bengals 3 games.
Boom. All right, take it to the bank. Hey, Luke, we're heading to Biloxi maybe this weekend or next. If you want to put that money down, let me know.
What's
Get it.
the over under for the Bengals right now?
I'm guessing it's honestly like 250 to 1 for a Super Bowl bid.
No,
I'm
saying
taking it.
500 record.
Put $10 on it.
Oh, over under on the season. Oh, I
Yeah.
looked it up. It's like 5.5, I believe.
Over. Yeah, over.
Yeah, yeah, over.
I'll send you a check.
Check. You gonna send it through your carrier pigeon?
I'll send you money order on a passenger pigeon.
There we go. 5.5 over under. So yeah, I'll take the over on that. I'll put $10 on the Super Bowl too, and then I'll take that money and put it into Bitcoin. Next thing you know, I'll be a billionaire. So it all starts with the Bengals winning the Super Bowl this year.
It's chess.
I had a
not
vision like
checkers.
that.
All right, so that'll take us on to the quarterbacks. Johnny, why don't you lead the charge on this one?
All right,
Top
let me
five,
give
and then,
you my
26.
stupid reasons on why I picked these guys. Here we go. All right, so Patrick Mahomes, like I said, I praised him before with the tight end crap. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, left-handed, no look, whatever, it doesn't matter. He's getting the ball down the field. Stud number 1. Now, number 2 for me is controversial for myself because it's Lamar Jackson. Can he keep up with what he had last year? My thoughts are no, but stats don't lie. I think he's got one more year to do what he did last year. Now, I don't think it's going to be MVP, but he's going to have some regression. I think he's going to be right there, with the rushing yards and the passing yards. He's going to be a running back quarterback. It's going to be lethal, but it's not going to be MVP. Russell Wilson's my number 3. The guy's he's a magician. I don't want to pick him in drafts because he's always there in the late rounds and he's nagging at you. He's like, come on, you want to pick me. But I refrain from picking him because I don't know, something about him. I think the Seahawks aren't going to do well this year. Who do they have? But they have DK Metcalf this year. They've got Lockett. I'm going to keep him at number 3. Now, number 4 is going to surprise you guys. It's Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, I think this year, I think he's ready. I think with all of the hoopla and everything, with COVID, no fans, he's going to be at home in like every single game. No fans, just him and his team. He's got Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones. I think Julio Jones, he's due for a big year. And I think that this year is going to be his year. with Calvin Ridley on the other side, I think it's going to be explosive. They're still not going to win the NFC South, but Matt Ryan's my number 4. Number 5 is Deshaun Watson. I know that he lost DeAndre Hopkins. That takes a big hit on him, but I think Will Fuller is capable if he can stay healthy. Kenny Stills, I don't know if he's going to play this year. He's a social justice warrior. He got arrested the other day for Breonna Taylor. I mean, this guy, he's a nutcase. I understand the struggle and all that stuff, but he's a nutcase. Just play football. Just play football. Deshaun Watson's my number 5. I really wanted to sneak Kyler Murray in the top 5 because I think that he's going to do something this year with Hopkins, and I just like their head coach. What's his name? Cliff Kingsbury. I think I like him as a coach, and I think he's doing really well with Kyler Murray. I wanted to slip him in the top 5, but I think he still has some growing to do, and Josh Allen's right underneath there with Kyler Murray.
Interesting. I did not see the Matt Ryan pick come in there, but it makes sense. He's got a lot of weapons in Atlanta, no doubt about it. Dude, think about having Ty Gurley coming off the bench. I don't know.
They're already talking about limiting his play
from the what's he got? Arthritis or something?
Yeah. Arthritis in both knees, hips, and ankles.
Yeah, it's crazy. Still, you still got one of the best. So one of the best wide receivers. Johnny, I saw you posted the thing on Instagram today on Fantasyfails about who was better, Julio or Michael Thomas. You have anything good to share on there and what the results were?
The results were a lot of lazy people didn't want to comment, so they just liked it. So it was a landslide to Michael Thomas.
Boom. That's all it takes,
it was like
dude.
85 to 2 comments.
Go Bucks.
Yeah. Who's better, Andy Dalton or Joe Montana?
That should be the next one.
All right, Luke, top 5 quarterbacks. Who you got?
Mahomes, Lamar, 1A, 1B, 3, 4, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. And even my 5, I got Dak at 5. I think Dak's in for a huge season. 3 stud wide receivers, a stud running back, an emerging Blake Jarwin, and a solid offensive line. Plus, he's in for a payday 1 year on his contract left. Those are all reasons I want Dak in my top 5. I got Kyler Murray right outside the top 5. I think everyone kind of has him right in that general area. I don't think anybody that pays attention to fantasy football is going to be shocked if Kyler Murray has a really good year. We all kind of saw glimpses of it last year. So I'd have him at 6. And honestly, the more and more I go over quarterbacks and who I want to take, and I mean, you have your older guys like Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, there's those guys are always there. But I'm taking Burrow, honestly. Screw it. I think the offense is good enough. It'll be a hell of a lot more exciting to watch and root for Burrow than anybody else on that list. So screw it. Give me Joe Burrow at 7. I'm going to draft him over any of those guys. Fuck it.
Spicy. Ow.
Damn.
Like it.
He's nasty, dude. Just listen to all the beat writers when they talk about him in practice. He is literally already in the Hall of Fame. Joe Burrow, future Hall of Famer.
Let's get it. I'm about that. For sure. 100%.
I think he honestly threw for 700 yards the other practice, and he only had 15 completions. They just let him go 150 yards down the field to pad his stats.
Baby goat.
Pad his stats in practice. We need a confidence booster for our MVP. I'll jump into it. I was going to talk about kind of my sleeper in the quarterback section, and I was looking at what Dwayne Haskins did in college. He had a fantastic year at Ohio State, 4,800 yards, 50 touchdowns. And, that Dwayne Haskins is my guy. I'm taking late in the rounds. I'll go more into it, but I look at, oh my God, what Joe Burrow did last year. Just going back and look at those stats, absolutely incredible. John, I know you're an LSU fan. It's just he's the real deal. I mean, I cannot wait to see that dude play this year. And yeah, he's outside of the shitty offensive line in Cincinnati. They got a lot of good weapons too.
Joe Burrow is a golden god.
Yeah, I saw his jerseys down here in Louisiana.
They have them in the stores. Yeah,
they're all over the place. Bengals have the ugliest jerseys in the NFL, but
no shit. Come on, man. We're still living in 2001.
They're awful. All in due time. Hey, once the team picks up and moves to San Diego, they'll get new jerseys.
San Antonio.
San Antonio, whatever it is. All right, well, my top 5, I have Mahomes first. I was really looking at him and Lamar, and I knocked Lamar down even further. But Mahomes, again, he's incredibly consistent. So many weapons in Kansas City. Last year, he got 8th in overall quarterbacks and fantasy points, but he only played 13 and a half games. So, if he's into the full season, he's going, maybe neck and neck with Lamar. Lamar had a freak season. So, still, yeah, give me Mahomes, easy, number 1 pick for me. I am actually incredibly high on Dak. I have Dak as my number 2 quarterback coming off the board.
I don't hate it.
Because of, they have a lot of offensive weapons. We did that mock draft last week, and I took Michael Gallup, halfway through the draft, and I realized that, that guy is capable of being a number 1 receiver on a lot of teams, and he's like the 3rd or 4th option on that offense. They're just incredibly stacked, good line, good running back. I mean, what's not to like about Dak Prescott? So I'm with you on that one, Luke. That's yeah, right. That to me, he'll be a huge breakout this year. Also, again, it's that prove year for his contract. Number 3, that's where I'll put Lamar down there. I've been harping on this dude. He's past his average of staying healthy. So I looked into it. Like Michael Vick. He stuck around for 3 decent seasons. He was injured like the year after his 3-year run, the year before his 3-year run. It averages out to about a year and a half, if you ask me. But I just think that Lamar Jackson is past his due. I don't think he can hold up. I also got RG3 in this fold. RG3 made it through a year and a half before he was never the same person again. Lamar Jackson also plays in the AFC North. All things I think are weighing against him. I think he's a ticking time bomb. I put him at 3 just because if he stays healthy, he's got obviously a huge upside. But I'm not putting him up there with Mahomes and Dak, who I think are going to be more predictable this year.
Hey, real quick fun fact. He is younger than Burrow?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
He just Mr. Elastic. I don't know. I feel like his body type just allows for it. And even if he does flame out, he's only 23. Like, I think he's got 4 more years of it.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I'm not taking him this year. I got Kyler Murray at number 4. Murray, he was, I think, 7 overall last year as a rookie. No reason to think whatsoever that he won't take another step forward. So give me Kyler Murray at number 4 with old D-Hop out there. And then I got Russell Wilson at 5. I don't love Russell Wilson. I don't think that's like a super sexy pick, but he is just incredibly consistent, isn't he? And he's just a freaking winner. So I don't know. He doesn't seem to light it up for me, but he's always finishing out in like the top 5 of QBs. And I think he will again this year. DK is also a real deal out there. So I'm high on DK Metcalf as well.
Drip Metcalf.
So my sleeper. So, kind of with the quarterbacks to me is kind of the same deal with the tight ends. If I don't get one of my, maybe top 3 in some of the early rounds, 2, 3, whatever round, maybe 4, I'm not touching the quarterback, honestly. So you'll never see me draft Kyler Murray. You'll never see me draft Russell Wilson. Those guys would go way before I want to touch a quarterback. When it goes down that tier list, if Dwayne Haskins is there late, I'm taking Dwayne Haskins potentially as my go-to quarterback. The reason is Washington blows asshole. They have no running game. They're always going to be behind on games. To me, Dwayne Haskins is last year's Jameis Winston. Terry McLaurin, give me Terry McLaurin. I would take him as a wide receiver. Winston was like the number 2 or number 3 quarterback last year, and I think Dwayne Haskins can do that this year. He's more comfortable. He's going to be chucking that ball up there because they're going to be getting their faces rubbed in the dirt all season.
It's cabbage.
Any sleepers for you guys?
Other than Burrow, which is not really a sleeper in my eyes, like you said, if you don't get one of your top guys, I think the 5th round's a good spot if you are in a situation where you've got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end, and there's the end of that top tier sitting there. I think that's a great spot to try to grab one of those guys. But like you said, if you don't get one of your top 5, 6 guys around that range and you don't want to reach for one of them, I think you can win a league this year with picking the right veteran. Lightning in a bottle in that 10-11 round range where you can really get deep at your skill positions and double up on quarterbacks late. And say you go with a Breeze and a Ryan or a Breeze and a Roethlisberger and Ben bounces back. I think you can really kind of separate yourself in a league this year if you pick the right veteran. Which one? Shit, I wish we all knew. That way we could take him. But don't sleep on that strategy because you can definitely win a league with it.
No doubt. All right, that'll take us into the GOAT of the Week. So if you guys have listened in the past, you know that the GOAT of the Week is not the traditional GOAT, or sorry, not the new age GOAT. We're not talking about the greatest of all time. We're talking about the dude that sucks, the dude that needs to be made fun of, the actual GOAT. Yeah, give us that GOAT sound, Johnny. All right, so I'm hoping we'll all pile on this one, but it was such a damn easy GOAT choice this week. Mr. Earl Thomas. Woo!
Hey,
Poor Earl.
Oh my God. You talk
just
about a
trying
guy
to
who's
bang
had
with
the
his bro.
absolute worst offseason. So, before they played Tennessee last year in the playoffs, he said that whoever Tennessee had played the week before, the reason they couldn't beat Tennessee is because they didn't know how to tackle. So, Earl Thomas is talking a big game about how, Baltimore kills people, yada, yada, yada. So then we all know that Earl Thomas goes to tackle Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry turns him into a lead blocker, stiff arms him down the field, and carries him for 60 yards and then puts him on his back once he gets in the end zone. So, Derrick Henry made Earl Thomas his bitch in the game. So, Ravens are out of the playoffs. We're talking about the offseason, as we all know, and we have actually written about here at Fantasyfails. Earl Thomas is gangbanging chicks with his brother, his blood brother. We're not talking about his homie. No. We're talking about his blood brother. Him and his brother going at it. Earl Thomas is he married? Was it his girl? Was it his girlfriend or his wife?
It was fiance at minimum.
Fiance at minimum. So his fiance finds out. What does she do? She chased him around with a knife or something, right? She had trouble too. Huh?
A gun. She held him at gunpoint. He was naked in bed with his brother and another woman, and they weren't gangbanging her. They were Eiffel Towering her. And she brought out a gun and literally threatened to kill him.
Oh my God.
He's
So you
like,
got
come
that
on, babe,
story.
come here.
Whatever. You know what? He makes it through. He makes it to the offseason. And then this week, Earl Thomas, he must just be getting made fun of or something. I think we talked about that actually too. I said he would get made fun of. Luke, you thought he would be a legend in the locker room. To me, he must have been getting made fun of because he flipped out at practice. He got in a fight with some dude named like Curtis or I don't know, some nerdy ass name. Chuck, that was his name. He got in a fight with a guy named Chuck, and Baltimore decided to let him go. So you got Mr. Unemployed Earl Thomas, who has completed the worst offseason in, I guess since we got Antonio Brown. That was a pretty bad one, but yeah, it's not been a good 6 months for Earl Thomas.
There was also reports that popped up after his release that Earl was literally knocking back a fifth a day there leading up to training camp.
Good Lord.
So he might have been a little drunk on the field, inebriated when it came to decision making.
Doesn't
I
sound
saw
like
that.
any of it was worth it.
Nope.
Yeah, he's going to have to forfeit a $10 million contract. I saw that. Baltimore came out and said that he missed like a team meeting one morning, and when he got there, his excuse was that he had to go and get his car cleaned. Obviously, this dude's priorities are a little jacked up. So
he had to kill somebody the night before.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's a wild man, dude.
What happened was me and my brother, we
See what happened?
gotta clean my car.
But the bad side of all this is that his ass is going to end up in New England.
No ship.
Dude, Bill
New
Belichick.
England or Cleveland?
Yeah.
I would hate to see him go to Cleveland, but I thought about that too, especially since Delpit just went down with a season-ending
Yeah,
what was
that's
that?
tough. That
Achilles,
one's tough.
right? Yeah, Achilles. Yeah, that sucks.
You guys remember when Geno Smith got punched in the jaw by that linebacker?
Yeah.
IK Impempoli or whatever his name was?
Nope.
If
don't remember.
Earl Thomas went to Cleveland, I would put the over under of like how many weeks it took for him to punch Baker in the face at like a week and a half, if that.
Dude, send him to Cleveland.
I mean, good lord.
Dude, I forgot about the Geno Smith. That guy would have made a perfect GOAT if we were doing it back then. How are you
Well,
gonna be the starting quarterback and talk so much shit that you get beat up? Like you obviously have no respect in that locker room.
practice squad linebacker.
Yeah. Oh, genius. All right, well, cool. I didn't mention it, but on fantasyfails.com, we have a downloadable cheat sheet for your drafts. So we got a standard league ranking, PPR, half point PPR. It's an Excel spreadsheet, but it's all click, download. It's print friendly. So it'll definitely save you on your draft days. We got our draft. Actually, we got to move to next weekend, but that's literally the only thing that I'm taking to the draft is my Fantasy Fails cheat sheet, and I'm going to kill it. So that is right there on the home side of Fantasy Fails. Also we still have all of the Fantasy Fails I suck at football T-shirts. You can get your trophies, basically all things to make your league and your draft not suck. Those are all available on fantasyfails.com. We have a lot of good promotions going on right now, so definitely if you're in the need, check them out for sure. Anything else, boys?
That's it.
Have a good evening, folks.
All right. Well, it's fun as always. Talk to y'all next week.
Don't
Later.
suck.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the